that on this channel, we love Las Vegas. We loved it so much, we ended up moving here. And normally I would tell you there is no bad time to come and visit.
I'm not going to Vegas on a Wednesday. Move over, I'm in.
However, there are some pitfalls, bad times of year, and things that can really ruin a Vegas trip. So today I'm going to be giving you 13 reasons to avoid traveling to Las Vegas. With these tips and tricks, hopefully I can save you from having a disastrous vacation. We have to start this video with the number one thing I'm hearing from you guys, my subscribers, about why you're avoiding Las Vegas, and that is that it has gotten too expensive. And you know what? I have to agree, you guys. I was just getting a black coffee at a random shop on the Strip, and a large was $9.75. That is a ripoff no matter how you swing it, and that's very frustrating and makes people not want to return. I have a silver lining for you guys. Vegas has heard you loud and clear. They clearly see that people are put off with these price points. We're getting a lot of deals popping up this fall, a lot of discounts, lots of places giving out happy hour deals and great stuff like that. Please make sure that you're subscribed to this channel and following me. I have a lot of great videos for you guys, including cheap eats, scams and ripoffs to avoid, budget hotels to pick, a lot of stuff that can save you a lot of money. I don't want you to avoid here entirely because you're worried that you're not going to be able to afford it. I promise I can help you out. There are deals to be found if you know where to look. Okay, my next reason to avoid Las Vegas may be a little bit niche, but I want you to check the dark days for the Bellagio Conservatory. The conservatory is a completely free, beautiful floral garden that the Bellagio puts on, and they switch it out 5 times a year. That means 5 times for 5 days, the Bellagio goes dark. If you are staying at Bellagio, this is especially tricky. I would hate for you to be doing your dream stay here at a pretty expensive hotel and have it be dark. My mom, every time she visits, wants to come to the Bellagio Conservatory, so I'm always checking when those days are to make sure that we're not gonna miss it, and I don't want you guys to miss it either. So do check their website. They will have the dates listed. Okay, we cannot talk about times to avoid Las Vegas without mentioning F1 and the construction that comes along with it. So the F1 race is every November here in Las Vegas. This is the 3rd year that they are running it. There are talks that this could continue all the way until 2030. The construction starts right at the beginning of October, and they won't have it all cleaned up until the end of December. That is a long time for there to be a lot of ice or construction. Driving can be terrible, and particularly bad right in front of the Bellagio fountain. You have a huge grandstand. You can't stand in front of the fountain. You have to be right on this corner. This is the only place you can watch the fountain from the front. It also causes all of the pedestrian traffic to go on the other side, leading to a choke point over by Paris. This can be a bit of a pain. If you are not here for F1, these months might want to be a time that you avoid coming to the Strip. Downtown is untouched, so if you love to go downtown, could be a good time to visit, and the room rates are cheaper. All right, my next tip is for those of you who want to save some money or you really don't like crowds, and that is going to be to avoid weekends. Here in Las Vegas, staying on a Friday or Saturday night is going to cost 4 times what it would cost on any other day of the week. The rates absolutely surge, and that is just because so many more people travel to Vegas on the weekends. If you want to save a little money, if you're budget conscious, you definitely want to avoid Fridays and Saturday nights specifically. Conversely, my next tip for you is going to be avoid coming on a Tuesday. I know what you're thinking, Ruby, you have suggested flying in on Tuesdays before, and that is true because it is very affordable. However, Things to keep in mind. We were just here at Horseshoe for a staycation and we wanted to dine at Jack Binion's. Well, unfortunately, they are not open on Mondays and Tuesday nights, meaning we had to pick a different day of the week to come and stay. That's pretty typical. Tuesdays are the slowest day in Las Vegas, and because of that, you're gonna see that they close down restaurants, clubs, and sometimes other businesses and shows. Something to keep in mind. I still suggest you fly in during the week. It is cheaper. Just make sure you don't have something big planned that night. Maybe save it for Wednesday or Thursday when more things pick up. The main reason I decided to do this video was a DM I got from a subscriber in the UK that was planning her Hendu, which is a bachelorette party, and she'd booked it in December and was not aware of how cold it is here in Las Vegas. So I want to talk about the weather really quick. It seems really obvious for Americans, but for the rest of you guys, you may not know. It gets cold here. Right now it's the end of October. Pool season is closed. It will not reopen until March. This time of year, you're gonna see it get much colder as it progresses, all the way up into like 50 degrees in January, so not very warm. I've also noticed that some of you are not aware of just how hot it is in the summer. It is extremely hot. June, July, August, you can see it as much as 115 degrees out here. That is way too warm for a lot of you guys to be walking around up and down the strip. You're gonna get dehydrated. My favorite times of year to come here are definitely spring and fall, April, May, October. Right now it's 80 degrees. It is absolutely gorgeous outside. Do watch the weather. Make sure you know what you're getting into. If you want to swim, plan for the summer. If you want to walk around, enjoy outside, spring and fall have got you covered. I want to add on to that tip. My next time to avoid Las Vegas is going to be the first 2 weeks of March. And that is simply because it is the most unpredictable time of year here in Las Vegas, bar none. We know that because Mr.'s birthday is in the first 2 weeks of March, and we would travel here and have totally different vacations every single time. Sometimes it was 85 when we were swimming, and sometimes it was still winter. It's also extremely windy. They are really dependent on the weather to get those pools open, so the first 2 weeks of March can be very tricky and you may want to avoid. Another common DM I get that also partly inspired this video is, hey Ruby, what are we doing for X holiday? What's going on in Vegas for Z holiday? Here's the thing. There are certain holidays where it's a great time to come to Las Vegas and certain ones that you may want to avoid, and it really depends on your preferences. The busiest holidays in Las Vegas are going to be Memorial Day, Labor Day, Halloween, St. Patty's Day is a big one, New Year's Eve, super big holiday here in Las Vegas. Keep in mind, those are definitely gonna up the room rates. However, I saw someone DM me recently and they're like, hey, what's going on for Easter? I'm coming, I wanna party. Easter is not really a huge holiday here in Las Vegas. Thanksgiving, that's a time with family and friends. You're not gonna see big crowds here. Things are generally gonna be quieter. Sure, the restaurants will have specials for pretty much any holiday, but in general, if you were coming here and think that you're gonna party it up during Christmas Day, it's not really all that busy. So just keep that in mind and manage your expectations. Okay, my next time to avoid coming to Las Vegas, spring break. Spring break in America varies a lot, but for the little school-age children, it's gonna be around Easter, so think in the April time frame. We were doing a staycation here at the Cosmopolitan. We were up at the Boulevard pool. It's a very adult pool. It's kind of like a laying out pool, and it was just flooded with small children splashing and staring and doing what children do at pools. And if you're just adults, that can be a little bit of a downer. You maybe don't want to deal with all these little kids. Here's where you can go. Park MGM and the Palazzo here on Strip both have 18 plus pools. Again, Circa and Stadium Swim, 21 and up only, no children are allowed in there. Now, if you're a parent watching this and you do want to bring your kids, spring break, you are not going to be alone. There are a lot of small children here in Las Vegas. I recommend Mandalay Bay. That is my favorite for people with families. So, something to keep in mind. Watch out for spring break if you don't want to deal with little ones. Alright, so we talked about how people are going to bring their small children here during spring break, and you may want to avoid those times. I want to expound on that a little bit more. If you have little kids with you, you can't even walk around in the casino area like this. You can't have them with you when you're gambling. Security will be all over you. You have to stick to the footpaths. Small children are also not allowed in certain restaurants. But another reason I want you guys to avoid Las Vegas is if you are underage and the rest of your group is not. If you're 19, 20, and you're traveling with people who are 21 and up, you're not gonna have a great time. First of all, a fake ID is not going to work. They scan those. They scan them at the clubs. They scan them at Circa just to get into the door. Even if you're with your parents and you are underage, you cannot get into these places that are 21 and up. The Lisa Vanderpump restaurants, 21 and up. There are a lot of areas like that here in Las Vegas. And so if you think, well, I'm almost of age, it should be fine, I just want you to know it's not gonna be fine. It's gonna ruin your trip. Wait until you are 21 and then come have a 21 birthday party here in Vegas, and you're gonna have an absolute blast. Okay, I brought you to the Venetian specifically to tell you to avoid conventions. Ironically, there's literally one happening right now. I think it's a finance convention. Here's the thing, it's a Tuesday. Typically, this would be a cheap day that you could come and stay, and it would be relatively quiet. Right now, every single restaurant in Restaurant Row is booked out for these finance companies. Normal people cannot go and eat in there, which would be a huge bummer for you guys. It's also so crowded you can barely walk through there, which would be a little stressful if you weren't expecting it. Big conventions like G2E in October, CES in January, these are pretty common for Las Vegas. Make sure that you look at the rate calendar of the hotel during the week you want to come. If the rate is really high, it could be a convention and something that you want to avoid. The next thing you may want to avoid when traveling to Las Vegas will be festivals. I am standing outside of the Sahara right now. Right across from me is the festival grounds. The Strat, Sahara, Circus, statistically really affordable properties, but during big festivals like When We Were Young, which is right across the street here, crazy. The room rates spike. Funny story, we for some reason felt we needed to drive down here right when We Were Young was going on and got stuck for over an hour to go 1 block. It's funny now, it was not funny then. Keep that in mind. If you are coming during a festival, I don't want you to overpay for a hotel if you're not coming for that specific festival. So watch out for the North Strip property pricing. If they go way up for some reason, there may be a festival that you are unaware of. However, if you are here for When We Were Young or another one that's going on in these grounds, these are great, really walkable. So you'll save money on transport and time. Needed to pick me up. That was a lot of work, you guys. We went all over this trip today. I have one more tip for you guys, and it kind of encompasses all of the other tips, and that really is to not come to Vegas without a hotel offer. What I mean by that is definitely checking the calendars and being really flexible with your dates. When it's less busy or not during a super peak time, there's gonna be discounts. But also if you've been here before and you've used a player's card, you should be getting offers and you should definitely be utilizing those. So if you're not getting some kind of little bitty discount, if you're coming from out of state, that's not good. You definitely wanna get one of those. So make sure to avoid that. You guys, that was a lot of information, and I hope that it was really helpful for you guys if you're planning future trips. Thank you so much for watching this video. As always, we will catch you in the next one. I'm thirsty.